Well, good morning and welcome everyone. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for dropping by. And if you're a return visitor, welcome back. Getting ready to go down to the Olympia, Washington motorcycle awareness ride and rally. We're going to run from Lakewood, Washington down to the state capitol and hold a rally on the Capitol steps. And hopefully we can get raise a little awareness about motorcycles, not just among the public, but among some of the government agencies that seem to always want to ignore us. So stay tuned. This ought to be an interesting ride today. We'll see how things go. Hey, Scotty. Turnout in the front part of the building. Let's go check out what's in the back.
I can do a lot of things wrong. Missing the turnout right now.
This isn't quite the ride we're intending, but you gotta slow down the freeway. You gotta do what you gotta do. So we're butting down. I guess it's only about a 5-10 mile slowdown. A flag going down the freeway, wouldn't you know it? Oh well. I like them little things. Those are kind of a cool looking canyon. You got a decent turnout though. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna get together and start moseying up towards the Capitol steps and have a rally once everybody's situated.
I guess I should back up. My name's Scott Robinson. I'm the state coordinator for Olympia, Washington. I've been riding for about 40 years now, and this is my turn to give something back to the motorcycle world and try and bring more awareness to what's happening. Olympia, Washington is the leader in legislative rights in the state of Washington. We need more help with this if you guys want to join up. There's a lot of things that happen as far as the bills and things like that. But the big item is when we go in that building and we say we have 2,000 members. That's okay. If we ever made it to the level of 5,000 members, okay, that's huge. Those are votes, and they know that. Every person that goes in there and talks, they figure carries 10 votes with them. When you go back out, they know that you don't talk to yourself. We're talking to everybody else out there, and the numbers are big, okay? And if we want to save lives, if we want to improve the things in the world of the motorcycle world as far as safety on the roads and what we can do, freedom of choice, that's huge. And that's where this is where it starts, right here. 2 years ago, in the one fiscal year there, we had over 100 people die on the state highways on motorcycles. In the entire state, there was only 500 people died in motor vehicle accidents. So we were 20% of the accidents or the deaths on the highway that year, and we're only 4% of the registered motor vehicles in the state.
That's a screen protector. That's
not a good number, okay? And we need awareness of what we're doing, that we're on the road. We need more legislation. We want more help from the DOT and DOL, and even these guys sitting over here in the car. It'd be helpful if they could come up with something to help us save some lives. Yeah, wave at everybody. There we go. There we go. How you guys doing? It's important to us that we're losing our brothers and sisters every year. We lose more and more people, and we've got to try and do something about this, okay? And this is a start. What you guys, a lot of the people here are Abate members, but for the folks that are not, just so you know, we come here every January, okay? And we come in here in a large mass, and we go in the building and meet with all the senators and legislative representatives, and we make appointments with them and try to legislate for safe measures and a lot of different bills that we work on.
Okay, well, as Scott said, I'm Brian Lang, Legislative Affairs Officer for Abate, Washington. And damn, the sun came out. It's bright. As Scott was saying, this is about motorcycle awareness today. But motorcycle awareness is more than just a day or a week or a month or even a year. It's something we have to work on 24/7, 365. And it's not just the people out in their cages out on the road. It's the people in this building. It's the people in the agencies who ignore us. There's a couple of safety manuals that the state puts out every year called the 2-lane rural highways and the urban and suburban safety manuals. And between the two of them, they go between 600 and 700 pages. And in the last one they put out, to show you how much they ignore us, there were 50 references to pedestrians, almost 40 references to bicyclists. Can anybody guess how many references there were in those 700 pages to motorcycles? Zero. We didn't even, and as Scott said, we're 4% of the registered vehicles in the state. We didn't even register one mention. Pedestrians got 50, but hey, we even, you know, we're on the actual road. We don't even rate a single mention. They ignore us. They make policy regarding us and have no clue on operation of motorcycles. Y'all know the rumble strips in the middle of the road, right? When they first studied those, they found out that the percentage of serious and fatal motorcycle crashes doubled. It went from 26% to 53%. And what did they do? They go, motorcycles data is skewing our data sets, so we're going to exempt all motorcycle data from all these studies. So they just said, yeah, these guys are getting killed, but that's making us look what we want to look bad. It's not going to fit our narrative. So we're just going to exempt the motorcycles. It's no biggie. Just like in DOL, they've got people in DOL's motorcycle safety who don't ride, but they're the ones coming up with the ideas on policies. So we have to constantly get out and work the agencies. And I'm sure Larry will either support or maybe fine-tune what I've been saying. But yeah, we have to get them aware. A lot of them have no clue as to how a motorcycle even handles. They think of us as a two-wheel car and can't understand why we get hurt and killed at a much higher rate than people in cars. They can't understand why a guardrail that's meant to stop a car has a higher rate of killing one of us than it does saving somebody in a car. There's no even, to give you an idea how much they ignore us and how much we have to push back, there's no motorcycle standard, crash standard in the country for guardrails, for cable barriers, for breakaway safety signs. There's no national standard. So it's something we have to really seriously bring awareness of what we are and the differences between us and cars and get it in their heads. Because right now they can't understand why most crashes related to rumble strips are on flat turns with a lane departure to the outside of the corner. How many of you have been leaned hard into a corner and hit a rumble strip and almost gone down? And they can't understand why that is. So that's one of the things we got to come, and every January, except this last one because of COVID, we come down here and we meet with the legislators and we sit down and talk to them. And the Legislative Affairs team comes down and meets with them other days during the session. And I'm even working on a couple of them that are going to be coming up here in the interim to try and get that point across. And right now our main focus for this next session is going to be lane splitting. We've got especially now that Oregon is just waiting on the governor to sign it, and she's not opposed to the bill, so the odds are she'll sign it. That'll give us Montana, Oregon, Utah, California, Maryland's going after it, Virginia's going after it. Washington's not going to be careful. They're going to be isolated and be the only one in the West Coast that doesn't have lane sharing in some form. Safety for motorcycles. The State Patrol says it's dangerous, and yet you talk to a Utah State Trooper and the reason they do it, it's safer. They've got experience with it. California's got experience with it. They say it's safer for motorcycles. Studies around the world prove it over and over and over. But State Patrol, who doesn't have experience with it, says, oh, no. It's too dangerous. Just like they said with our right shoulder bill that was too dangerous because there was too much debris on the shoulders that we would run into and crash. Or there'd be a stalled vehicle and we'd get stuck because there's a stalled vehicle, like we couldn't get back into traffic. So it's an uphill fight. We're going to keep doing it. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Texas Larry Walker. Let him have a few, unless Scott wants to jump in real quick.
Hey, Larry Walker here. He's our safety officer. Come on out, Larry. Don't be bashful. Larry's our safety officer. He has a training company, correct? You do motorcycle training? There you go. He's an instructor. He's an actual instructor, you guys. So he might have some good things to say. He's also the safety officer for a Beta of Washington. Known him a long time. Texas Larry Walker.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. How y'all doing today?
Shut up.
Yeah, I hope y'all brought meals, because once you get me started and everything, there's no off switch on this critter. Okay, and it's been a long time since I've been able to be out here, and so I got a lot of pent-up frustrations. Anyway, Brian was talking about lane splitting, whatever euphemism you want to use for that and everything. You want to know what will help us make that work better? is you get back out there in the communities and you get people who don't ride motorcycles, who don't know folks that ride motorcycles or know that they know them, people who are not thinking about motorcycles, you get out there and you get it into their noggin. You educate them about us being out there, so when they decide to scan traffic looking for stuff, because you can't see everything in traffic, when they decide to start scanning for traffic, part of the stuff in the back of their head is, don't forget, look for motorcycles. That will actually help with the lane splitting bill, because if people have motorcycles in their head, they're more apt to look for them. Because I'll tell you, it's not that people really want to crush us. It will ruin the fenders on their Lexus, and they don't want to do that. The thing is, if they don't have motorcycles in their head, they don't even think to look. They do not think to look, so we need to get motorcycles in people's subconscious. Everybody get the idea of motorcycles in the traffic mix in their subconscious, so that they're looking for us. They're actually looking for us. Maybe they need to quit looking for Starbucks and start looking for us instead. Okay? That would make a much better lifestyle for everybody.
So, as always, if you like the video, hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell notification. That way you'll make sure you get notified every time I post a video up. And don't be afraid to leave a comment.